Oh hey guys, just your friendly neighborhood StarCraft 2 caster here, bringing you another game. And this is actually my second attempt at casting this. I tried doing it last night, but I was way too tired. Stayed up reading the Slenderman copypasta and also watching Marble Hornets, which is pretty entertaining actually, pretty creepy. I went to bed, decided to do this in the morning, but had a few nightmares. Not about Slenderman obviously. I have this recurring nightmare where I go hatch first, and then I get Rezealot rushed, and I forgot my spawning pool, and I've got an Evo chamber instead, and then I hold it off with drones, and ooh, just gives me the willies just thinking about it. Truly terrifying stuff. But anyway, to the game. We do see the blue Terran is Strelok from the team Imbalance, and I'm not sure what strat he's going to be going for. Probably some imbalanced strat, obviously, to his team's namesake. And yeah, it's going to be that. Probably going to be that strat that beats you in the ladder. You know the one I'm talking about. The one that just seems to have no counter, and you just want to go to the forums and rage about it. Ooh, I hate that build. But as the red Zerg, we do see Sen from the team Gamma Bears. And that team always reminds me of gummy bears, of course, the delicious treat that you can rip in half and stick together. The sour ones are probably my favourite. Now Sen has also been cursed to get third place in everything he does by Danan, and he has got a lot of third place wins actually. I think both NESLs he's got third place, so a bit disappointing for him, but he's a very good player obviously. I think he was in Code S this season, but he got knocked down into Code A, but it's so hard to stay in Code A at the moment. I think you have to be top 8, and he's still doing quite well. I think he's in Code A now and advancing through that, so he might be back in Code S this season. And it looks like Strelok is saving up minerals at the moment, so no barracks, so it looks like he'll be going for CC first, and looks like Sen is going to be doing the same. So fairly safe build for the Terran. Really not really any aggression going to be coming out. Might put out some speedlings or something, but he doesn't have any gas yet, and metabolic boost is a long way away. So Sen has now scouted that the Terran is going for that CC first, and he's trying to do a bit of drone harass, but he got stuck. Probably not going to do any damage really. He's already got the drones, lost a bit of HP. That's not going to be able to do realistically much except be annoying. Looks like it's a couple hits off, but not going to really make that much of a difference. We see the first gas now going down for Strelok, so probably going to be a Hellion expansion. Spawning pool is about 25% complete, and looks like this drone is almost dead actually. He wants to be careful not to lose it. It's not that much of a loss, it's a bit of a morale loss. And Strelok pulling off 2 SCVs to try and kill it. It gets away, but that's an interesting tell. He could be trying to hide tech, or just keep it out of his base because he wants to deny that useful scouting. And that's going to make Sen think, oh, is he going to do something here? Is he trying to hide something? But he only has got that one gas, so there's not that much he can do. Looks like just transferring some SCVs. Have the Queens now coming up. And looks like Strelok is going to go for a bunker, so probably not going to be aggressive. Probably get a few Marines out to man that, and then go for a factory. So there's 2 orbital commands coming up. The Zerg player is a bit ahead in supply, but that's to be expected with investing 300 minerals into those 2 orbitals, but as soon as those mules start to pay off, he should catch up. We do have the second gas now coming down, and the mules starting to drop, and looks like Strelok got an SCV into the base, and he scattered there's no gas, so he's probably going to be pretty happy with that. He's going to know that he doesn't have to spend too much more on defense, and of course there's no way that Hellions are going to catch these no-speed Zerglings. So we do see that factory coming up now, so it looks like it will be the common Hellion expansion, which is pretty much the metagame at the moment. It should be interesting to see what Sen does from this position. He could counter it with his own quick third, of course it's a great map to do that, but it can be a little bit tricky to keep that 4th. And it looks like he invested in about 8 Zerglings, so that's probably a bit more than you usually want to get. And without speed they can't really do that much damage. So he could try and run past the bunker, but it's probably not going to be very effective. And it looks like he will try that. And the wall isn't complete, so he could actually get in and do some damage, but oh, great move by Strelok. He cancelled building on that supply depot, and he goes to build a second one, and that's going to lose him the SCV, but that prevents the Zerg from getting to base. Sen probably would have seen he's seen the reactor, so he knows that there's going to be a factory. It's just common sense, really. But interesting, we do have the starport coming down for Strelok, and he is putting his barracks here as well, so he could start putting a tech lab and go into Banshee play. So should be, yep, we do see a tech lab, so that it's going to be Banshees. And this is actually pretty good against Sen, because he's gone for the, well, he's getting gas now, but it's very late gas. It's almost about 6:30 into the game, and he's just getting his double gas now. He's not going to have layer for a while. And he is going for that third, so he's going to have to defend exclusively with Evo chambers and Queens, depending on whether or not Strelok goes for that cloak. So it could do quite a bit of damage, and it looks like He is building a Roach Warren, and that's to deal with any Hellions. And interesting, the pros build the Roach Warrens as part of the wall, and that's usually put Evo chambers here or something to sort of make the Hellions have to go all the way around. Yeah, a lot of pros do put that Roach Warren in the front, and that makes it easier for the Terran player to scout, and also easier to kill. And I have seen a few pros lose the game when they get Marine Rotor Rushed or something, and they just come in and snipe this, and they can only reinforce with Speedlings. So it's a bit hit and miss. Personally, I prefer to keep my Roach Warren inside my base where it's a bit safer, or in the back somewhere. Strelok has scouted that there is a third coming up, and that's probably going to be what he wants to see, because there's going to be less defense really, and probably less minerals to be able to spend on detection. He's getting an Evo chamber up now, and he sort of just has to do that at this time, otherwise Cloak can completely kill him. These roaches are going to get a couple Hellion kills, but they probably won't be able to catch him as long as he keeps the micro well. And looks like the roaches are going to go into the middle of the map and take the watchtower. And it depends how clever Strelok is with his Banshees. He does have Cloak on the way. If he takes them around the watchtower, he could get potentially a lot more damage in. The layer is now coming up for Sen as well. Should be interesting to see where Strelok goes from here. He does have his Banshees, but how's he going to continue with this? Looks like he's going for the expansion and also getting another reactor Hellion, so it might be neck. Yeah, I suppose that's a pretty good build on this map. Of course, with these easy to hold thirds, you can get a lot of siege tanks and try and hold off with some Thors and Marines from any Mulus player. Let's see, have a look at the drone count. Yeah, Sen's a bit up. He's about 10 workers up. I do see some extra barracks coming down, so not going to be exclusively mech. Looks like we do have Stim on about halfway done and some reacted barracks. And it's going to be important here whether or not Sen sees the Banshees.
Add-on.
Will be in range of the... Yep, he does see them from the watchtower, and that's going to give him the tell. As long as he's not ignoring the minimap, he should be throwing up. Yep, a couple of spores here. So I think Sen will be alright, but he potentially these could do a bit of damage before those are up. Does have Cloak on the way. And how many drone ghosts is he going to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, oh there's stun too, not bad, 7, 8, looks like 9 he's going to be forced to leave with those 2 queens there, so yeah, pretty good harass. But now he could go back in later and get some more. Not too bad for Strelok. Could potentially come to the third, although there is a spore up there already. Looks like a spore at every base, and oh, this is interesting by Sen. He is throwing up his Spire in the mineral line of his natural. Now that's a bit of a interesting conscious choice he's made, because as you can see here, the drones have to run around it, so he's losing minerals on this investment, but he's banking on that the scan for this Spire will come either around here, which is a very common place with some Overlords spew and creep, or maybe in his main. So that's really an interesting move by Sen. So he will be behind on minerals, but he should get the surprise attack, and we see quite a lot of barracks coming up here, as well as a factory. So it looks like Strelok is just powering up. He's establishing his economy, so in the next minute or two, he'll start to be able to pump out a lot of units. Do you see those Hellions continuing to harass? You might go in and try and get some... No? Looks like he's going to lose a couple of Hellions, thanks to those rope support. A lot of Zerglings going down though, so yeah, not too bad I guess. Unfortunately, he won't be able to take the map with these 2 roaches here, and I'm surprised he's not using these Banshees to take out these roaches. It looks like he's got everything on one hotkey, apart from his Marines, so might just be a bit of a blunder, or maybe it's just too micro-intensive to control his 3 bases, and also try and micro those Banshees. But again, I think those Banshees could stay in the middle here at the moment. The Mulus are about halfway up, and he probably hasn't scouted the Spire. Look, nope, no chance of him scouting the Spire. But he has to assume that they're on the way, so... See like he's going and killing some roaches now, so not a bad move. He just has to be careful not to lose these to the Mulus, which are coming out soon. You see some Speedlings there as well. And there is an Overseer, so Cloak will not help these, and he's going to Cloak and try and continue to go out, but the Mulus should be chucking around any second now. Yep, there they go. And unfortunately he's going to lose these Banshees. So it looks like he got a bit greedy, but maybe just doesn't want them in his own position anymore. You see the upgrades coming up now. It's going to be a bit of a race here to see who gets maxed out first and who gets the better army composition. Zerg is continuing to control map with just Speedlings and Roaches at the moment, as well as some Mulus. You can't really do much damage with them at the moment, so it's probably looking for those gaps, and there is a bit of a gap here where you could come in and try and pick off some reactors and tech labs. And there's a lot of queens for Sen, and he is starting to float a bit of minerals, and he's also supply capped, and he's about 1,000 minerals over bank, so I think this is a bit of a mistake for Sen. I think he should probably get up some more macro hatches. He's got 1, could probably throw down another somewhere. Of course, those queens are going to have so much energy. He needed those queens to defend the Banshees, but you want to spend that energy somehow. So you see a bit of a tank line up here, and not a lot of defense here, but it's unlikely that the Zerg will be able to do much damage. And coming in and sniping those reactors like I was saying earlier, and he could probably take out these Marines if he's careful. Looks like he's going to lose a couple of units though, loses one there, this looks like he's going to second and a third, might lose a fourth, but he wants to pick off that. Yep, picks it off, and yep, grabs that reactor, great move, and he's going to get that missile turret that stops. And it looks like Strelok is now starting to get a Thor, and great move by Sen there actually. He picks up one of the tanks inside the really dangerous area where there's Marines all around. Of course right next to the barracks where the Marines will pop out. It's a bit of a bold move, and he is going for a fourth over here, and that's going to be pretty hard to hold because when Strelok moves out, he can come up here and he can cut off reinforcements from that area and just go up and kill it. So it looks like Overlord's spooping out a Changeling, and also the Changeling is actually going to go take the Watchtower. It's a bit of an interesting move. I suppose if he sends one unit up to get the Watchtower, the Changeling will morph into the Terran unit and it won't be automatically attacked. And then it won't actually tap the Watchtower. So you might not notice that if he's not paying attention. It looks like the Terran player is actually ahead in supply. The tech is sort of getting behind for the Zerg player. He doesn't have his infestation pet yet. He's on exclusively Ling, Bane. Well, Baneling's not up yet, but he should be getting some soon. And Muta. So this could be a very deadly army if it's controlled correctly. Looks like the upgrades are at 1-1, 2-2 coming in. The Zerglings are about 1-1 and also 2-2 coming in almost, so the upgrades are just about even. The Zerg player is a little bit behind. The Mutilist cannon is starting to get a bit scary though. It looks like he's up to about 22 Mutilists. And continuing to grow, and it's going to get to the point where you can just go in and snipe turrets, although probably not here because there's Marines here. And it looks like Sen is now realised that the Terran player is moving out. And this could be very deadly. He's got to be careful. There's so many Marines there. It looks like he's got about 80 Marines. Oh, that's a lot of Marines. And he hasn't got that many Banelings. Centrifugal hooks is finished though. So as long as he can get him on creep and in a good position, he should be okay. Looks like he wants to snipe those creep tumors, but he's got to be careful. The tanks haven't deployed yet, so the Zerg could just run in. And those tanks are deploying. They're a bit clumped up though, so it might be a bit of a mistake. And here come the Zerg units. They're going to try and sneak around, or they're going to try... Yep, coming in, and he's going to be careful with these Marines. He's got to try and split them well, and oh, no, he's not splitting the Marines, and he's actually going to lose a ton of Marines. Oh, that wasn't the best move by Strelok. It looks like he's going to lose his entire army, actually. The Mutilists are trading with the Marines. Not the best we're trying to do, but it's going to overwhelm the units, and that means that the Zerg player is going to take about a 30 supply lead, and that's a really big lead at this point in the game. Now, is he going to be able to counterattack, though? Looks like he wasn't really able to establish the fourth just yet. But he's preventing the Terran player as well. He does have that pre-built CC ready to move in, and he hasn't turned into an orbital because he wants to get a planetary fortress. We do see a Ghost Academy coming down, and this is the last patch replay, so Ghosts can still snipe their hearts out against Broodlords and Ultralists. 3-3 coming down for the Terran player though, and that's where it starts to get really deadly for the Zerg player. The Zerg hasn't started his 3-3, and in these late game situations, if Sen doesn't manage his gas, and it comes down to where he has to pump a lot of minerals into Zerglings, then the Marines are going to trade really well with the obviously the Terran units. It looks like he was going to try and drop here, but it looks like it's going to get caught. Oh, the Zerglings run away, so maybe not. He is moving that planetary fortress into position now, but he's going to know about it because he does have the Queen here. Looks like he's taking one of his full energy Queens and going to try and get their creep going. He has to replace those creep tumors. A lot of Banelings here. And looks like the Zergling has scouted that there's a dropship here, and I think Strelok has just sort of forgot about this drop. So you can potentially just lose everything here. So we do have the Mutilist going to come in, they pick up that dropship, he does stem, but no escape possible. And if this planetary fortress gets up with some turrets and some siege tanks, it's going to be really hard to take for the Zerg player. The Zerg player is at 200 now, so he's caught up again, but his take is starting to get a bit behind. He does have a greater spy coming in. He hasn't started 3-3, I don't think. Yep, he hasn't got it. So at this point the Terran player is starting to get a bit ahead. 3-3 was just about sort of finished for the Terran player, but all great. The Zerg player is now coming in, he's avoiding the siege tanks and the planetary fortress, he's going straight into the main, it looks like. And he's going to catch this Thor out of guard, and the Thor has a chance to do a lot of damage to his Mutilists, but he's going to go around surrounding with the Zerglings, and the Thor goes down pretty quickly. And he's doing a lot of economic damage here. Looks like he's got another Thor that's probably going to get killed. Gets away. We do have a couple of Vikings in the back as well, which are preparing for the Broodlords. And there's a Queen doing here. What are you doing here, Queen? This isn't what you're supposed to be. And losing so many Mutilists. That Queen gets taken down as well, and that almost devastated his entire Mutilist count. He was up at about 20 or 30 Mutalisk, and now it's down to about 4. The Terran player is in a strong position now. If you can just get another Thor out maybe, or just repair this one, and then just go in, and looks like he's going to go straight off and cut off that 4th, like I was saying earlier. It's going to be so hard for the Zerg player to reinforce this base. That planetary fortress is up and running, although it doesn't have the watchtower, so the Zerg player could potentially attack from above. 3-3 has now started for the Zerg player, but the Terran players has just finished, and there's going to be about a 100-second window where the Terran player is just going to have the really good upgrade advantage. And as you can see here, he's just melting through these units at the moment. Looks like the Zerg is going to counterattack, and this is probably his only choice he can do at the moment. He's going to lose his 4th, and looks like he's preemptively hiding his drones. But the Banelings are going around the base. They're going to go, and it kills the Punchy Fortress. You need just about 18 Banelings to do that. And you see what he did there is the SCVs were going to preemptively repair the Punchy Fortress, but he pulled the Banelings around until they hit them. So everything got taken out at once. A great move. So that's Strelok's 4th is down as well, but the Zerg player is down, and the Terran player is up. So at this point, the Terran player is in a bit of advantage. It looks like he's going to drop the 3rd. It's almost mined out, but he can still do some economic damage. But it looks like he drops 1 Marine and gets out. And Terran player just trying to get his units back to base now. The Broodlords are up now, but there's only 4 of them, so they're not that deadly at the moment. He does have a couple of Vikings, almost about an even number of Vikings to Broodlords. So it depends how well he defends them. He does have an Ultralisk cavern, no chitinous plating yet, but I don't think he can really afford Ultralisks. He's basically on 1 base at the moment because these 2 bases are mined out, and you really need 2 or 3 bases to support Ultralisk. He probably have the gas income for it, because his gases are still running. He does have 4 on this extractor though, a bit of a stake there, and 2 on this one. Could be getting a bit more gas. The Broodlords are now moving, and he's got to be careful with his Vikings. He doesn't have any infestors, it looks like, to fungal. A couple of going. He's going to lose some Zerglings to some siege tank blasts. No, it gets out. So he's got to be really careful here. These Marines could go in after the Broodlords, but then the Broodlings will come in, and then the siege tanks will splash damage his own units. He is building that command center again to try and take that center gold position, of course. And I think Mule's still working this patch to mine against gold minerals, so it's pretty good, especially when you've got 3-3 Marines. He has a couple of ghosts coming out as well. And there's a bit of a cat and mouse game here. These 3 queens are at full energy. He can use them to transfuse the Broodlords and also shoot out those Vikings, but he's got to be careful because he's going to lose them maybe. No, goes back. Looks like they're going to get to creep and they'll be safe. Only about 6 Broodlords here. And he's going in, and he's going to transfuse at the time. Just like, yep. There is a ghost in there. He could potentially just EMP the queens. It looks like he's not going to be going for that. The queens are going in and actually doing really good. These Broodlords will stay up quite a long time. Looks like he's got enough for quite a few more transfuses, and he's going in. He's taking out a lot of the base, but there's nothing to deal with these Vikings. He can transfuse for as long as he wants, but eventually these Vikings are going to win, and at that point, he can just continue rolling over the tanks and Marines. After winning the engagement earlier in the game, I thought Sim was in a really good position in this game, but those constant upgrades and also taking those gold bases are just going to lead to a victory to Strelok. And yep, looks like he's going to take the game and sends force to GG, so great move by our Ukrainian player, and thanks for watching guys, and see you next time.